And as the school year draws closer, districts all across the country are preparing themselves for a whole new way of learning, whether it be a completely virtual or a hybrid approach. For Eau Claire area schools, Superintendent Michael Johnson says giving parents the ability to choose which option was best for them was vital because that's what they asked for. I sat down with Johnson for this week's Hometown Conversation to discuss one-on-one the district's new instructional model, mask mandate, and more to give you at home a chance to hear from him about how the district plans to keep your children safe. Could you just give me a little breakdown of the plan itself? What is that going to look like for you guys this year?
From pre-K all the way up to grade 12. And in kindergarten and grades 3 through 12, it's a hybrid model. Now, students and families do have a choice if they would like to go 100% virtual, and we respect and honor that. On the flip side, the hybrid model would be students are in school 2 days a week in cohorts, and then 3 days of virtual schooling. No one will be going to school more than 4 days a week in person because on Wednesday we're doing a deeper cleaning of our facilities with electrostatic sprayers. So in first and second grade we had felt, the district had felt that that's such a critical time for early foundational learning, the ability for early literacy to take place. So those students will be going in smaller cohorts, obviously, anywhere from maybe 10 to 12, maybe 13 students at a time, 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.
So when it comes to the 100% virtual option, why was it important for the district to offer that for families here in Eau Claire?
It's because our families wanted it, and they wanted it. We wanted to make sure that we had honored their wishes because we know that there are X amount of percent of students who do have a pre-existing condition that COVID could seriously impact, or there's a family member who has that as well. Many students we found through our surveys, they definitely would love to be at school for the social aspects, and that's how they learn best. But there are some, because of their learning style, or because they have a medical condition, or someone in their family does, who'd be compromised if they had that virus, where they're choosing to stay home, and that's okay.
Is the district offering any help when it comes to internet or smart devices or anything like that?
We had made a lease purchase for technology. We also need to determine how many hotspots are needed for people without internet access. But in surveying people and phone calls and such, I think we're able to get a pretty good number on that. But once again, these next 3 to 4 weeks are very critical for us.
When it comes to masks here in school, is the district planning to provide them for students that might not have them?
Yes, we have gotten masks from the state, 2 masks per student, and we have already purchased and we have received masks for our staff as well.
Is there a discipline aspect coming from the schools when it comes to, if a student isn't wearing a mask in a certain part where they're required to?
We're really not looking to discipline students first. We want to educate, and we've got some public service announcements, some of them kind of fun, but I think they're educational, they're kind of fun, and it's getting kids to learn about that so that it's not that big of a shock when they come to school and they know. But we're really choosing to focus on the education part and why it's so important.
So when it comes to students' mental health during this trying time, is the district planning to offer any specialized counseling to help students, kind of cope, and like you said, the educational aspect to understand what's going on?
Absolutely. Those are going to be things that we've got to work with our teachers, but most notably our counselors, psychologists, our administrators. And we really have to be aware, and we have to focus on those relationships first to get to know our students instead of, okay, day one we're going to get into this type of content area. We really need to learn about our students and focus on relationships first because they matter.
We've seen a lot of social justice movements going on throughout the country at the same time that we've seen the pandemic rolling through. What are some of the steps the district is going to take, or you guys are planning to do, to make sure that students know that their voices are heard no matter what topic they want to discuss?
I do have a meeting, and I've met with this group called the Equity Advocacy Team, EAT. And they're just people that want to make a difference, and they want to help because they understand they either have children of color themselves or they have them in their classes, and they have noticed, boy, these kids really need some help from us as a staff based on what they're going through. It's really nice to get those resources together and to learn what staff want to do collectively, but yet individually at a different school, because every school is a little bit different.
You had mentioned that it's kind of like your first year teaching for you and everybody in the district.
If they didn't have classes like this back when I was going to school or we were doing our administrative work, Pandemic 101, that's not the case. You know, we're doing the best we can. And we've got people working tirelessly. We've had people that have been working since May, even though we hadn't finished our school year. But we've had administrators, staff, families providing input. And it is. We're working 12, 14, 16-hour days and consulting with the best and brightest in the medical profession in our community. But ultimately, relationships matter. And we're going to do the best we can for our families and our kids and our staff, and we'll get through this. We'll get through this together.
Superintendent Johnson, who just started his role in the district in July, says he is ready for all of the challenges the school year is set to bring, including how they plan to deal with passing periods at middle and high schools, the protocols for students that experience COVID-like symptoms, and what typical school day activities like recess and gym class are going to look like this year. Now, our full conversation will be available for you to watch on our website, WQOW.com.